this, and we should be good to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another stupid fucking power rankings because you guys are fiends. I am joined tonight by Snow. Snow, you can say hello to all the out there.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hopefully,
I got my
people can hear
snacks.
Snow. Snow's got his snacks. He was rushing to the kitchen. I heard his feet pounding on the floor.
Okay.
But yeah. So this is gonna be for obviously just Summit only. I'm not doing anything involving any of the leagues. Results in other leagues will not count in this, no matter what. I don't really care what people say because this is my list. I can do what I want. But anyways, this is going to be on the results of this past weekend and prior weekend for that. Oh, I don't even. Yeah, people are coming in the chat. So why don't we start out with number 12, which I don't think is a shock to you, Snow, or anybody. I have WRTB and I have KRRC. The reason why I have these two teams at the bottom is they have yet to win a game in Summit this season, and unfortunately, both teams did not play. They both forfeited both of their matches to their teams. I think that's pretty clear cut and dry. I just have them. I'm doing 12 spots the rest of this way that I do this, so I don't care what people say. Doing 12, so 4 spots will be tied for the most part. Do you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, they WRTB I thought was maybe turning the curve when they played first, but man, you never want to see a forfeit. So and I guess same with KRC against Pathfinders.
Yeah, like it's unfortunate that we didn't see a game. Like especially, I think the KRC game I think would have been a really good match. I think both those matches would have been really really good to see. Um, it's just unfortunate because I think they're better than this position. It's just unfortunate that they are in this position. Obviously these are the two teams that are actually going to be in the Valley, so they are eliminated from the top 8 portion of Summit. So, but best of luck to them the rest of the way. Hopefully they can, uh, muster up something to get maybe a better seed in the Valley. But going on to number 11, I do have 21st. No particular reason why I have them down here other than their only win is a forfeit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, against WRTB. So like you can't really give them like yes, you have to give them the slight up on WRTB, but um I don't really have anything against 21st. It's just that, one game that they I think did pretty well in was against 1SBS in round 2,
Yeah.
but I ended up losing
They had a
4-1 at
shot
the
to win
end.
this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had a
they had a
shot.
shot.
Yeah, it's just, sometimes the ball doesn't roll towards your way, and I think that's what happened to 21st in that game. It's Utah night. The map is, you can't see dog shit.
Nothing.
Uh, but yeah, they're 11. And then number 10, I do have another tie. I have one SBS, and if I can find it on my computer, I have so many sources. Maybe I just have one SBS. I have no idea. Maybe. Guess we'll find out. No, I don't. I have ANZR. Now, I know ANZR is probably a little pissed at me because I have them 10th, but let me give you my reasons why. Your only win is a forfeit by KRC, and I think they do have 2 respectable losses. For the most part, against EXO and against Merc, 2 Division 1 teams, and that's obviously really, those are hard games to play. Both 4-1 losses, so they didn't get 5-0'd at least. But I think they're still very competitive. It's just that I want to see them win a game. You know what I mean? Like not obviously get a forfeit, but win a match in Summit. And then one
Yeah,
SBS before you talk, Snow. For one SBS, I played against them this weekend. They are a really good team. They actually recapped on us after the initial mid cap. They're a solid team. Nothing goes against them whatsoever, but kind of where I have them, number 10.
yeah, I would probably move ANZR up one. I know it's just so hard to judge again, but you could also
Yeah,
say the 22nd when it gets Merc and won. I mean, I know it was an upset, but
yeah.
you come to play, you come to win. So I understand it, but there's just still plenty of time for both of those teams to move up. They still
Yeah,
got the more
and
rounds.
like I think all the teams apart from WRTV and KRC still have a chance to get to the summit bracket. So obviously there's still time, but all 3 of those teams that are 10th and 11th need to win both their next game. I think that
About to
goes
go
for
undefeated.
a lot. Yeah. That goes for a lot of the other teams as well that are above them, such as 9PZ that I have dropping to ninth, which I think is a little bit of a shock that they did lose the Pathfinders. Pathfinders played one hell of a game against them on Carentan Town Center. I would say I want to say it's an Axis favored cap still. Um, but I think it's still 50-50 across the board for the most part on that map.
Dude, this chat.
But
You need mods, bro. Poopy, keep talking, Snow. I'm almost finished. Is wild. Yo, dude.
I do have mods. They're just not online. I have Caparzo as
All
a
right.
mod.
Look,
But I think 9PZ's loss, like I would probably maybe throw 9PZ and ANZR kind of tied, if that makes sense. People could argue that right now too. It's just hard to judge right now, in my personal opinion, where ANZR currently stands, just because I wish that game against KRC was played. I just wish
I do
that.
too.
I think that would have been such a good game.
And who did they play this week?
I
If
do
I
not have
look,
that pulled up.
NZR plays first.
ANZR
So
first. So
first,
they've played each other in the past, and I think ANZR has won both times, but that was also in 35s format. So obviously both teams in the bigger, format. It's gonna be interesting to see who has the, better edge in a larger format game. Do they pick the map
yeah.
yet? I don't think they have.
Nope.
You
They
guys gotta get
haven't
in your
picked
map
anything.
bands, dude. You guys gotta get in your map bands. Um, and then
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
8, I have Pathfinders and I have First. And I think that's a good spot for both of those teams at this current time. Now, obviously, that can change with the next round. I think it will change with the next round. So obviously, ANZR in first play, and then Pathfinders in 22nd play in the next round. Obviously, Pathfinders with, I would say a big upset win against 9PZ, but I don't think it was that big of an upset if I have to be honest. I feel like maybe some people are like blowing it out of proportion a little bit. I think those teams are very evenly matched going into that game. Just people don't know how to vote like me, or have a brain like me because I'm, him. Um, but,
This guy. Okay. Someone
but
ban awake.
ban awake. Well, people are gonna clip that. I don't really give a shit. Um, but like all jokes aside, like they played a heck of a game against 9PZ. It's just that I feel like those teams have been evenly matched for so long, and Pathfinders were just knocking on the door against them in the finals and TPL, and they just kind of cracked the code a little bit against them in the last match. But and then
Yeah.
first they did have a 3-2 loss. It almost honestly could have been a 5-0 in like a half hour. But I still think being down 4-1 in Foy, that's a very tough game to come back from. Like not a lot of even like Division 1 teams, if that would happen, I think come back from being down 4-1. And the fact that First mustered the strength to come back 4-1 after being down 4-1 in the first 15 minutes is insane, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, and just speaking on the Pathfinders point, I believe this is the first time they've beaten 9PZ. I think that's where the sentiment comes from,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
upset.
obviously when you beat a team for the first time in so long, it's kind of like when HLE beat 7th like last year and like Merc beat 7th 5-0. Like that was obviously a shocking loss at that time, but
Yeah.
you know,
So we'll see if Pathfinders can like replicate it and make sure it's not like a one-off.
yeah, who
And then,
knows? But yeah, I'm excited for the next round for both these teams. No idea if I'm playing in the Pathfinders game or not. That's in 2 weeks, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing tomorrow. So that's usually how my schedule goes. But they are not top 7. None of those teams. Who do I have 7th? Gotta find it. 7th. I have 3-5. They are not bottom 5. They are 7th.
damn.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. But why did you leave 11th? 3-5. Very tough loss in my personal opinion against Merc. They had him 75% cap snow,
I know.
and they blundered it.
I mean, yeah, they had mid. Like I stopped watching the stream at 50 minutes left in the game, and 3-5 still had mid. I rewatched it and saw. I was just like, I
I
have no idea. They had such a good opening too.
I have to go back and rewatch that game because I'm not sure kind of what happened in that game for them to have
They
them
lost their
lose.
armor.
Yeah, but
I
it's
think they
first
lost like
night. You
3
don't have armor
tanks.
to begin with. Like
Yeah,
being honest, like you can build an AT gun anywhere, and just kill everything. But
can't wait.
I think that was just an unforced over 3/4. Um, but I'm just gonna insert an ad. I don't care.
Hell no.
Insert an ad. No, but I just feel bad for 3-5 because you're 75% capped, and you basically have a GG Gary to 5th point then too within like the first like what half hour I think that was. Like
Yep.
3-5 are looking really good to end that game, and it would have been I think a shocking loss for Merc if they lost that. But obviously they didn't. Merc won. I still like 3-5 is a really good team. It's just that maybe um with it being the fog, I think Merc's shooters just outfragged 3-5 shooters, and then as so long as you trade out armor, I think if you're Merc, you're just fine with that.
I mean, just looking at the Archon, it was. I know everyone hates Archon, and I get it, but just the amount of like the rankings per 3-5 member versus the respective like Merc member, it was crazy. But it's really shameful because I will give 3-5 the advantage. That curse has been their map. That big Legion on it. They played it anytime they can get it, and they had way more experience on it than Merc did.
I'm
So it was
curious
kind of
if it
really.
was Curse Day, it would have been a different result, but no, we can't live in when it's night. But going on to 6, if I can find it, I have Merc, and if I can find the other team that is 6th, I have 22nd. Now, obviously, 22nd beat Merc, but we turtled the fuck out of that point in week 1, and I don't care what anybody says. We just did it to win, and that's what you have to do in this game. But no, both teams 2-1. Obviously, 22nd beating Merc, but I feel like Merc has kind of bounced back since that loss. Obviously, 2 straight wins. 22nd getting 5-0'd by EXO, which I unfortunately did not play in. Wish I played in that just to help the boys out, but unfortunately, that's what the result was. I think these teams are, looking pretty good going into the final 2 weeks of Summit, or final 2 rounds of Summit, I should say. Nothing really to say, just really solid wins. Both of them, losing mid at one point, but then, getting mid back. And, I feel like at both times, both teams could have capped to make it 4-1 in both matches, but, obviously didn't slam that deal. But nothing really much to say about these two teams. How about you?
You're gonna get a lot of hate for the 3-5 or 22nd. But it's. I mean, the results, the
3-5 is
games
1
speak
and
for
2,
themselves.
so that's
I know. That's what I was literally about to say. That I was like, the games speak for themselves. Like you guys showed up, got your win, and you're sitting in a way better position than 3-5 is. 3-5 has to win out for a chance to make Summit, and you guys don't. So it's.
Yeah, because here's the thing too with 3-5. I don't know how Summit actually does the the scheduling of what teams play what teams, because I know like you how it basically fundamentally works is you play the team with the exact same record. Now obviously that's going to change with WRTB KRC match, because one team's going to be 0-4, and for Legion and Taco, one team's going to be 4-0 coming out of both those matches. So I don't know who they exactly play after that for the 5th and final game, because of whoever wins and loses both those matches. But
Bye week.
I think you still have to play one game, because I think Legion in last Summit was undefeated until the final. If I do remember, I just don't know who they played in or round 5. But then you cannot also play a team that you previously played. So since 22nd and Merc already played each other in week 1, therefore in this week 3 round they could not play each other again. So that's kind of how it works.
Makes sense.
So like for 3-5's sake, they could have to play the loser of the EXO 6 game,
Game.
which if you're 3-5, you do not like that sound.
No,
Like,
especially with like you'd rather much play a non-PZ, a Pathfinder, a First somewhere in
mhm.
there.
And to 3-5's like unfortunate credit, they did have to play Taco and they did have to play Merc. If they would have to play XOR 6, that would just be a brutal, brutal last 3 games. Like that's rough. But
Welcome to Division One.
that's Division 1 for you. Anything to say on Merc at all before we move on to 5?
Um, no, I mean Merc played a. I hate to say this, I'm gonna get some hate. Merc played down to their opponent a little bit and came up, so it's pretty good. Merc loses a lot of those games, at least recently. Like they'll have points and lose them, and now it's good to see them take a point back after losing on mid. So let's see if they can translate this to keep winning because they'll have to play. I think they would have to play the loser of the Legion Taco game, or am I wrong?
I don't know how that all works. Cuz Merc, if they what? If they lose,
If they
they
win this
win.
week, they would have to play the loser of the Legion
Well,
Taco game, I think.
they might, but at that point they're already in Summit. And it's just kind of based off the seeding at that point
Oh, that's true.
for those teams that are, get a win this next round, but I don't know how it all fucking works. I don't know what
Me neither.
I don't it's above my pay grade. Anyways, we're on to number 5 and I have Rofs. I think that's probably a respectable spot for them to be in. Yes, I did include their new logo, which took me so fucking long to remove the background. Don't use AI logos, people. Sorry, Rum, for exposing that, but doing that. Um, Rofs, very surprising airhead against First to be up 4-1 in the first 20 minutes and then kind of holding that for the next 40. Um, Not surprised that they did lose that fourth point. That's probably I would say, easiest fourth point for First to actually take on that map as Germans, just because you do get all those trees in that wooded area that you can maneuver through. So I'm not shocked that First took it back, but Rofs just felt controlled within that entire game. Like I don't think they were worried at all. Even after losing their fourth point, I felt like they were in control. And their only losses against Legion on West Bend, so it's like you can't really knock them for that. I just think Rofs turning in the right direction, but they do have a tough game against Merc. Merc and Rofs, remember what happened last summit with the church?
Oh yeah, the airhead inside of the church.
Airhead inside the church, and then Kaiser's meme, I think, was pretty golden. But that's really kind of all I have for Rofs at number 5. I think that's a
I agree with you.
solid spot.
It's just the only thing is just seeing now they're getting to the later rounds. They're going to start playing some tougher opponents, and let's
Mm-hmm.
see if that translates.
Right, and then
Because their only big opponent was Legion.
mm-hmm. And then I'm just gonna do 3 and 4 back to back. I have EXO at 4 and then 6 at 3. Um, no real argument for and against both of them at 3 or 4. I know some people saying that EXO would beat 6th right now. I think I saw a comment about that today in the Summit chat, or maybe it was TPL. I don't remember. I don't know if I agree with that quite yet, just because 6th have made it to a final and have won games against every quote unquote Division 1 team in TPL, but both teams coming off a loss against obviously the top 2 teams, Legion and Taco. Um, Both actually played on the same exact map, which is interesting, as opposite
Well, we
factions.
did.
Um, as far as the EXO game, Legion just looked totally in control after the mid cap. They sniped basically trucks, even though it's technically 1, from what I heard. Angel Reese is better than LeBron. What is this chat? What the fuck?
We go look. Oh no!
What the fuck?
They don't get out of here, dude.
And then 6th, you can probably speak more on that game because I still have yet to watch it in full because I was 5 in the morning for me, so I said fuck that. I'm getting an extra 2 hours of sleep. But it's Taco. It's going to be a rough
They were
game.
tough. They were a tough opponent. and they just flat out outplayed us. But for those saying EXO may beat us, we'll see. We got 2 weeks to prep, and I know they'll be prepping.
Did you guys pick a map yet? Nope.
Dude, we haven't even picked if we're getting the extra ban or if we're getting the final ban. Riley, get on your shit.
I think he was in the chat. Maybe I have no idea.
Yeah, he's been in the chat. He needs to pick. He needs to do his job.
He needs to do his job, but I still obviously there's the next people who or the next team that wins out of these two because they do play each other will be in the summit brackets, and then the other team is going to be 2-2, and they have to win that game in a do or die situation to make it in the top 8, which I think is going to affect the seeding of that team. So potentially one of these two teams might have to play Taco or Legion in the first round. I think that's a possibility if you lose this game. So there's a lot at stake. I'm just kind of hypothesizing here. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just speaking my mind. Yeah.
Last time I picked the result, we lost to 5 ID, so it's not gonna happen. It's not even gonna happen on the pod.
Not gonna happen on the pod. All right, and then number 2 and 1, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. Maybe I have Legion 2 and Taco 1. I think that's pretty simple to bet. Both teams, I think, have been the top 2 since ever. I mean, you always can throw 6 in the mix as well, but right now they both look like the top 2 teams in the league. You can make it like the case 1A and 1B. I don't think they've made their final ban. Hopefully Taco does not sit on this final ban for a week so they get an extra week of prep, because I think that's not okay. They should get that final ban tomorrow. Yeah, I think both teams are just dominant in their wins. It's going to be interesting in what map they play. Either Hurtgen Forest or El Alamein. So both dog shit maps for performance. So no one's going to have fun no matter who wins.
Taco will have access guaranteed.
If I end up casting that game, I might crash because the map performance is terrible. I don't know why you couldn't do Remagen. It's the same performance. It's something different. But
we're trying to get Remagen for the XO6.
That's
game.
not going to happen. Your match actually matters. I mean, Tacos and Legions matter for seeding, but it doesn't really matter too much in my opinion. But
come on, XO, give us a shot. Remagen Bridge.
Yeah, that's kind of all I have.
I will say, just from looking at both the Legion and Taco, I think Taco, I'm going to get some shit for this, but I think Taco may have the better shooters.
Ooh.
I think I know.
Snow.
Hold on. I'm about to praise Legion for a second though. I think the logistics for Legion, and this is another thing why I say the better shooters, is because it seems like everyone in Taco is trying to kill. Meanwhile, you'll watch a Legion game and you'll have at least 10 people at all times, not really focused on kills, getting rep stations up, building structures, AT guns and shit like that. I think the logistical side for Legion is crazy. And the rocket snipes are going out. It's wild. So I can't wait to watch this game. Just if Legion can take a truck early,
Alamein or fucking Hurtgen.
Yep, can't wait to watch it,
dude. If it's on Alamein, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed. I'm not gonna
Did you stream the last one?
Yeah.
Did you stream the last LL?
Like, no one had fun. I don't think even Taco had fun. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think they did. At least, if you're Taco, you do get the MG42 as opposed to whatever the fuck the British get. Just disregard Libyan Lambda. Ooh, Snow.
I'm not disregarding them. I'm just saying, Legion doesn't have 50 people trying to get kills all 90 minutes. Versus when we play Taco, I mean, yeah, they got some rep stations up and some AT guns. But you'll watch a damn fucking Legion stream, and they'll have 4 AT guns on a hill, and you got people loading. I don't know. I just think the logistics of Legion is a bit better. Snow loves tacos. Can we ban these people? Like we get on these streams, and Little G, fucking tubby man. I'm about to crash out.
Snow's not happy, ladies and gentlemen.
And hot dogs. Okay. Kill like
Did I make Little G mod?
no, fuck no. He called me tubby for 90 minutes.
uh, yeah. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say, but that's basically the list, ladies and gentlemen, for going into the fourth week of Summit, or fourth round of Summit. But yeah, that's kind of the list. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. The recap: we have WRTB and KRC at 12 because they really haven't played a game at all last weekend, so they're both also don't have a win. 21st, their only win is a forfeit, but they did have a good game against 1SBS. Speaking of 1SBS, they are 10th, tied with ANZR. Both, I would say equal. Maybe you can slight ANZR up to 9. You can make that argument right now. But I just want to see ANZR play another match at 49s. And then 9PZ at 9, just because they did have, I think, a big, I would say an upset loss against Pathfinders. Basically kind of it for that. 8th, Pathfinders and First. No other reason than Pathfinders' big upset win. I just don't know if they're on the level of everybody above them, except for maybe 22nd. And then First, I think they just had a good loss against Rops. 3-5 at 7th. They just had like a rough loss, but I still think they're a top 7 team. 22nd in Merc. People I feel like are maybe overrating 22nd sometimes, just because I'm on the team now. I feel like that's a narrative that's been going around. But we did have a big upset loss, or win, I should say, against Merc, and sitting at 2-1. That's kind of the reason why I have 22nd in Merc at 6, is because everybody above them is 2-1. Rops also 2-1 at 5. Just a solid win against First. Pretty much it. EXO at 4 and 6 at 3. Coming off of 2, I would say, unfortunate losses for both of them, but still
Hard
top
fought
4
games, both of them.
And then X and then Legion Taco, both 3-0. I think that's probably going to be the dream. You should make 22nd 6A and Merc 6B. I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean, I can make the case for Legion 1A and Taco 2A or 1B. I don't fucking remember what I'm saying. I'm just, yeah. That's basically.
I
don't know.
I would have First and 9PZ swapped.
You would have First 9PZ swapped?
Yeah, I think if 9, this is just me going off. If 9PZ played First, I think they would win. But then, well, we don't count non-stream games, but 9PZ did just beat 3-5 3 days before they lost to Pathfinders. I don't know.
See, I don't know
it's
these
tough.
things, but here's the thing about scrims: they shouldn't really account for any sort of rankings at all. One, they should be streamed, so I know how the fucking game goes. And 2, I just heard about this now. So, what map did they play on?
Cursed.
First night.
Yeah.
Ugh, rough. I heard Snow said LGN doesn't have shooters. Oh no!
I did not say that. I didn't say that.
Oh,
just talk.
Okay. Dude, you're about to.
I opened the door. I opened the door. This is. I told you I would take some heat off. Well, Legion does have shooters. Trust me.
Right. But I guess we're gonna do some 1v1s with OG Joe and Snow.
OG, dude, he goes by Vengeance now.
What the fuck is Vengeance?
Vengeance is Virginia. Fucker was ripping me last night.
Snow did not prepare for this. He should have been digging through his weeks of matches instead of digging through his lunch meat drawers.
Lunch meat drawers, fridge. Yeah, okay. Can we ban? Like, there has to be a time where we can ban this guy.
No, it's good for the algorithm.
I said, "What are you eating?" I'm not eating shit.
Okay. Before Snow crashes out on my stream and I get canceled and my YouTube channel deleted, I think I'm gonna end it there, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys all watching this very cooked power ranking stream.
Wow, I see what you did there.
It's Okay, I didn't mean it like that. You just walked into that one. But I will be trying to release an edited video out before this weekend. It's gonna be, I think, really fucking good. I'm gonna put a lot of time and effort into it. It's gonna be another meme video, Snow, but it's it's probably
Great.
not gonna involve you whatsoever.
We agree for most of our picks.
I'm getting a
You
voice
can
call
call
from,
Barzo's ass.
I'm getting a call from Dunny. I'm gonna have to leave you, Snow.
Bye, buddy.
I'll see you later. I gotta get Dunny on. What's up, Dunny?
Yo, great stream. Big fan of the stream. I love it. I live for these streams. Thanks for being you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Good job this past weekend.
Thanks, man. You know me. I just get on tanks and I just start rapping, dude. I just started rapping, you know?
Is there anything you want to say to the stream chat before I end it? So I'm ending it in probably 30 seconds.
Anything I want to say?
Yeah, that's PG.
So you better get ready to hit me, dude. I'm going to fucking start slurring right here.
All right, Dunny.
All right, sit.
Well, there goes Dunny, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be the stream. I do appreciate you guys. I'm going to join Snow real quick. Snow, I'm back, baby.
Probably 30 seconds. Oh, I'm back.
Yep, you're back, baby. All right.
What the fuck?
Dunny said he was about to start slurring, and I left.
Okay, yep, we can't have that. No slurs.
Okay, but that's pretty much going to be it. I keep saying that, but I think that's going to be it. Any final words, Snow?
Just stop asking me what I'm eating.
I'm clipping
Okay.
that.
Salads, okay? Salads.
All right, Snow's eating salads, but that's going to do it. I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.